Alright. So, the question is, what is our world? Right? The question is, why are we here? And the question also is, where are we? Right? So, point of this video, right, is that I've had these I've had like this feeling. I've been meaning to do this, like questioning our reality, and hopefully like people will watch this and we'll be able to talk about this, get more in depth into this and all that. But or maybe for like future me to come back and all this. But what I'm trying to get through is, okay, so the point of these videos, I'm going to make these videos to question our reality. Where are we, and what is the meaning of life and all that, right? First, I'm going to show you what our world, our mainstream science says, right? Like mainstream science is, right? And then I'm going to tell you what my studies for the past year and a half, it seems, what it's led me to believe, right? My studies. So, mainstream science, right, it says that we are in a planet, right? This Earth, right? This Earth, and all that is continents or whatnot. And here's the sun, and we're like spinning and all that. And we're just people here, right? And somehow we went from a cell, evolution, thousands of years past, and then somehow evolution brought us here from particles, two particles that went pop, pop, right? They crashed, the Big Bang Theory, and it made all this, right? The universe with stars and suns and moons, satellites, everything, right? And what do we know about this, right? About us? Well, what biology says, science says that, well, we have two eyes, we have a mouth, we also have these things that are called organs, right? We have the brain that helps us think, the heart that helps us live because it pumps blood throughout our bodies. And that's about it, right? That's about all mainstream science has been able to tell us. I mean, this world is made up of little itty bitty particles, and some of these particles can react to each other, right? Like hydrogen and oxygen, right? Get another hydrogen, you make water and all that. That's cool, right? And so that's that. Nothing much. We're here basically. Mainstream science says we're just here. There's no real reason to be here. Mainstream science says that the Big Bang happened and we're here. And what's today? May 17th, 2017. Today is the newest version of the world as we know it today. Like from the Big Bang to here. And people came out of there. And there's water. And there's animals. That's about it. Right? That's about all mainstream science says. That's about it. Mainstream science says, okay, maybe there's a planet here that we can go to. Maybe there's another Earth that we may go or may not go to. Maybe we'll go to Mars. That's what science says, right? That's what like people talk about. This is what's widely accepted. Now, what my studies have led me to believe, okay, so first off, this may come across as a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I thought it was crazy too in the beginning. Still kind of do, still kind of don't. Not really though, but that's okay. But the point is that I still have this in my mind. You get me? I'm still able to recite this. You get me? And so what my studies have led me to believe, right, So first off, Earth ain't exactly a ball. You see, I couldn't even do it on here. You see, that's a sign right there. I couldn't even. It's not a ball. It's flat, right? We're here on Earth, right? And it's flat. Apparently the sun travels on top of the world, and so does the moon. Apparently they're the same size, and apparently the sunlight, right? You know how it's hot and all that. Well, the moon is the exact polar opposite of the sun. It actually gives off cold light. You get me? If that makes sense. If you measure the temperature of, what's it called? Okay, so when it's night, right? Let's pretend it's night and there's just a brick wall here. For whatever reason, there's a brick wall, right? And the moon is shining on the other side of that brick wall, and it's causing a shadow, right? This is a shadow of that brick wall, right? And you have one of these fancy schmancy laser thermometers, and you get the temperature of the moonlight, right? And you get the temperature of this shadow, and the part of the moon that hits, right, the moonlight that hits this part that's not the shadow will actually be colder, and this will be less cold. Why is that? Why? Mainstream science doesn't explain this. It doesn't make sense. What? The moonlight is colder than the shadow. Why? It throws it all off. It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, we'll go back to that in a little bit, right? That's weird. Earth is actually flat. It's not that. It's actually this, where this is the ground, right? You have people here. This is what I've studied, right? Like, I can't physically show you all this. I guess I could show you this physically. I could show you that physically, but I can't tell you physically this next part. So apparently what our world is, right? Apparently it's a dome, right? And this is where it gets, like, a lot of people will shy away from this or turn away from this once you mention like metaphysics and the non-physical and all that, like things that we can't see with our eyes. But apparently this is where we are. We're inside here. We're trapped, but we're not trapped. You get me, if that makes sense. So we're stuck in this, and we call this place Earth, right? It's flat. It's like miles long, right? And so this is the moon, and this is the sun. Same size. They just go in circles inside this dome. Apparently it's made out of glass, a very strong glass. I'm not sure, but apparently once you go on top of this glass, this is where the non-physical happens. Up here, this is where existence exists purely, if that makes any sense. It'll make sense for a few, but not everybody, okay? This is what my studies have led me to believe. This is mainstream science. This is what we were taught in school to believe. And this is what I've learned on my own since I graduated high school, man. I've been out here and I've been like studying this on my own, not like for anybody's sake. Well, I guess for everybody's sake, but you know, I've just been studying this on my own. But it doesn't make sense, right? Earth is apparently flat. You got the sun, you got the moon, right? And then, so this is our outer world, right? And remember the people right here, right? We've got things that also change who we are. So we've got our mind, right? I learned this from Bob Proctor. We've got our inner worlds, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our body, right? The subconscious mind, what is the subconscious mind? Oh my god, I misspelled that. But that's not the point, alright? So we have these subconscious and the conscious mind. Okay, that is how you spell conscious, right? So we have this, and our conscious mind is the part that we think. Our subconscious is the part that of us, of our bodies, of our minds that doesn't think, right? And what's it called? So our subconscious thinks, like when we're riding a bike, right? In the beginning, it was hard to ride a bike. This is not a very good bike, but you get the idea. This looks more like a car. Alright, so you got the bike. And in the beginning, it was hard because you had to learn how to balance yourself and everything. But after a while, after you, like, time passes by, right, you're able to do it, and you're just able to ride on it for like hours or whatever. It doesn't even matter at this point, right? You're able to go. Same thing with the car too. Like, you get in traffic, you don't even have to think about it. You just go, right? Just steer pedal, brake, steer, or gas pedal, steer gas, steer brake. You know what I'm saying? So the subconscious is also the part of us that breathes for us and beats our hearts for us and all these, and digests food, and that's the subconscious. That's like the part of us that is us, but we don't necessarily know that it's us, if that makes sense. Not until we become aware of it. But no, subconsciously, we live our lives mostly subconsciously. As in, whatever we did yesterday, we'll more than likely do today, because we live habitual lives. We live off of habits, right? And once a habit is impressed into your subconscious mind, it goes into your body, right? These habits or whatever. And you'll live your days like that, right? And these subconscious habits run your lives, right? So this is basically what I've learned, is that what mainstream science tells us is that there's no real purpose. We're here because of two particles and cells and evolution. And May 17th, 2017, we're just here because we're just here. You get me? And this tells us that we're in a dome, is flat. Moon, Earth, moon, sun is the same. We have our minds, right? We have two parts to our minds, the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the part that thinks, right? And we live daily habits, and that's about it. Like, in 13 minutes, I've summed my studies up. Not entirely. More videos will be on the way. But this is basically what I've learned for the past, like, year and a half. Alright. But this is questioning reality or whatever. And I hope you all have a wonderful day or wonderful night or whatever. But question reality. Well, questioning reality. Alright. You have yourself a wonderful day.